Welcome to Cosmic Scene with Jill Jardine. I'm your host, Jill Jardine, Master's in Counseling Psychology, longtime astrologer, psychic, healer, yogi, and Sanskrit Mantra instructor. In today's episode, I'm going to share Sanskrit Mantras for protection. In the crazy world out there, we need any level of protection from adverse forces we can get. Stay tuned to listen to the proper pronunciation of each mantra and chant along. Welcome to this episode on Sanskrit Mantras for protection. This is the 7th episode on Sanskrit Mantras on Cosmic Scene with Jill Jardine. In this episode, I will introduce you to and teach you Sanskrit mantras for protection. And during these precarious times, these mantras come in handy to feel safe and secure. You'll want to stay tuned to chant these mantras with me and feel the powerful Shakti. Please go back and listen to my previous episodes on Sanskrit mantras where I go into depth explaining how these sacred sound formulas from the ancient Vedic, Tantric, and Puranic texts of India work. They are powerful, they are formidable, and they work. Also check out Sanskrit Mantra previous episode, the first one, which was Introduction to Sanskrit Mantras, featuring mantras for removing obstacles. I will be alluding to that in this episode. For the past few decades, the internet has been exploding with techniques and tools to help you become more spiritual, or to open your third eye, or connect with your spirit guides, etc., etc. Many which appeal to ego's desire to become more spiritual, like some sort of race to spiritual one-upmanship among aspiring New Agers and yogis. Although there are many of the how to do this or that to become more spiritual or psychic or websites that are teaching people how to develop their psychic gifts, few acknowledge or address the importance of discrimination and protection when seeking out various spiritual or energetic techniques. This is a problem. I've had to help many clients undo damage that was done by dabbling around with practices or techniques from a tradition, and they didn't know what they were doing and thus created issues. And people can even open themselves up to situations where entities can come in. And just think of that old-fashioned Ouija board. That's one of the fast tracks to bring in entities. I know some people use them and probably like them, but I remember my experience with the Ouija board when I was a teenager and we were messing around with that. And I could feel some very negative energies, and it was not good. And I feel like one of them did get attached to one of my friends because they started to have a very tough time. So even back then, before knowing about Sanskrit mantras, I did a practice of saying the Lord's Prayer 15 times to clear or exorcise that entity or spirit. That, by the way, works. There are other techniques that work as well. In today's episode, I'm specifically talking about Sanskrit mantras that work to clear out negative energies or to protect us from any adversity coming from things like spirits, entities, other people trying to do harm to you intentionally or unconsciously, as well as our own negative ego, which sometimes can be the biggest enemy. And we need to protect ourselves from that as well. The whole idea of spiritual protection is taken very seriously by Eastern traditions and true esoteric teachings, such as Tibetan, Buddhist, and Tantric teachings. Thus, these traditions have many techniques and practices to help seekers stay safe and protected while on the spiritual or esoteric wisdom path. And also, there are built-in safety mechanisms to protect seekers when they are trying or pursuing practices in these traditions. In the West, we see spiritual advice or protection appear in forms of wearing an evil eye to protect, or some other jewelry or bauble meant to protect the wearer from negative influence. These do work. And if they're given to an individual with a spiritual, energetic, or transmission from whoever they received it from behind it, it will have power. Also, in the Western traditions, we have spells that may be cast to clear out negative energies, such as in Gypsy, Greek, Italian, or Wiccan practices. But spells come with a whole set of karmic conundrums and complexity themselves. That's a whole nother story, and I'm not going there. In the Christian and other religious traditions, we have exorcisms to cast out negative entities, ghosts, bad energies in a person or place. Just think of Poltergeist and The Exorcist. Usually a Catholic priest will go in and perform the ritual from the Catholic scriptures that allow exorcism and casting out of negativity. Other than in the realms of spiritual traditions, where we need to clean out and use practices for protection against negativity others, just in our day-to-day life, there may be things that make you feel really bad, or you can feel there's negative energies being blasted, such as the vitriol that was being spewed out on social media platforms, especially with regard to politics and other belief systems. So we have the negative egos of other people that could pose a threat to our own peace of mind and our own sense of security. And in addition to other people's darkness or negativity or vitriol, we have to be aware of our own negative ego or shadow content, as we call it in psychology, which can really turn on us and create problems. So the mantras I'm going to share today can help with all of these things: protection against negative people, that person in your office who's trying to sabotage you, or others who have jealousy or envy or any kind of lower vibratory emotion that they direct at you, to people who actually dabble in things such as casting spells, who may or may not know what they're doing. We can protect from that. We can also protect from misusing spiritual or psychic or esoteric techniques, such as they're called the left-handed path. If someone is involved in that, we can be protected from that energy or fallout. And also we can use these to help us clear our own shadow energy or negative ego. So now we're going to get into the actual mantras that will work to protect you. As you may remember from my previous podcasts on Sanskrit Mantras, there is a principle that removes obstacles, and that principle is called the Ganesha or Ganapati principle, ruled by the Vedic deity Ganesha, he who removes obstacles. In the episode on Introduction to Sanskrit Mantras, I taught the seed sound for the Ganesha principle, if you go back and listen to that. But just as a refresher, that seed sound is gum, and the mula and foundation mantra for Ganesha is Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. So if you're starting to chant some mantras for protection, it's always good to bring in Ganesh to open up the energies and remove obstacles known or unknown. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha is a very good mantra for that, or just chanting Gam, 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 Gam 9 times. Today I'm going to share 2 other Ganesha mantras for removing obstacles, specifically to negative energies and to bring in for protection. The first one I'm going to introduce you is Om Uchista Ganapataye Namaha. And this mantra destroys negativity, hatred, inner or outer enemies, and demonic egos of others or yourself. And this is for Ganesha in the dark-colored form. Ganesha is the elephant-headed god of the Vedas, very popular among yogis. Many shirts are adorned with Ganesha photos and images, and Ganesha statues are seen in most yoga centers to remove obstacles. The first mantra we're going to learn is Om Uchista Ganapataye Namaha. And again, I refer you to the show notes for the spelling, the pronunciation, and I will share the meanings. Here we go to destroy negativity, hatred, inner or outer enemies, and demonic ego of self or others. Om Uchista Ganapataye Namaha, chanted 9 times. Chant along with me. Om Uchista Ganapataye Namaha. 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 And continuing with the Ganesha theme, the Ganapati theme for removing obstacles, there's another really good Ganesha mantra to clean out negativity. That mantra is Om Shakti Ganapataye Namaha, and that helps to cast away evil spirits from a haunted house or from the body or mind of a person. And it's a very good mantra if you go into, let's say, a hotel room and you feel some weird stuff happened or fighting. Om Shakti Ganapataye Namaha is a really good space clearer. It also is very protective when others are saying bad things or throwing negativity your way, and it removes obstacles even if you don't realize that is happening. And that mantra is Om Shakti Ganapataye Namaha. I'll chant it 9 times. Om Shakti Ganapataye Namaha. 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 So start out with these 2 Ganesha mantras. See which one you like better when you begin your chanting for protection. The next mantra I want to teach you is very simple. The mantra is Om Namah Shivaya. Shiva in the Vedic pantheon is, first of all, the father of Ganesha and married to Parvati or Durga, Kali, Chamunde, some of these real kick-butt goddesses. Shiva's the husband. So the Shiva principle is extremely protective. It's a very simple mantra, Om Namah Shivaya. It is also a mantra that will bring you moksha or enlightenment. It's called the Siddha mantra for freedom from the ties that bind you here on the earthly plane. It's a very good multi-purpose mantra. Shiva is the Lord of all the worlds. Is known as the destroyer, but he's the destroyer of the negative ego as well as destroying what no longer serves. The other thing is Shiva's the Lord of the demons and goblin and the other underworldly beings that may want to do harm. If they hear Shiva's name, they're going to behave. Shiva's also the Lord of the animals. And so Shiva's domain is one of all the worlds, and thus he can contain and maintain the situation and very protective. I mean, there's people, clients of mine who have had nightmares. And one of the simplest mantras to help protect you in your dream time, or say it before you go to sleep, or some people, if they learn it, they may find themselves saying it during dream time to protect themselves. Om Namah Shivaya. You call Shiva's name, nobody's going to mess with you. So let's chant Om Namah Shivaya 9 times. Om Namah Shivaya. 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 Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. The other thing chanting Shiva will do is bring in healing and expansion of consciousness, and brings in the positive masculine archetypal energies. The masculine wouldn't be complete without their female counterpart. Remember, behind every powerful man, there's an even more powerful woman or feminine counterpart. And in Shiva's case, he has multiple female counterparts. And the ones I want to share with you today have to do with his wife, who's known as Parvati. Parvati also takes on other forms, including Durga, Chamunde, Kali. I'm not going to share Kali in this broadcast. She's not everybody's cup of tea. But I will share a very safe and easy mantra for people to do for protection to Divine Mother. And this is to the goddess Durga. I tend to give this mantra a lot to mothers so that they can protect their children when their children are not with them, or let's say their child's learning how to drive and going to be driving by themselves. You got to call in Durga for protection. And Durga is really, really good when we're traveling to chant Durga, whether we're driving, when we're getting into the car, or flying. Durga is the loving Divine Mother, and the mantra is Om Dum Durgaye Namaha. Salutations to she who is beautiful to the seeker of truth and terrible in appearance to those who would injure the devotees of truth. For protection, we're saying, salutations to Durga, divine feminine, kindly protect me. So let's chant the mantra Om Dum Durgaye Namaha 9 times. Om Dum Durgaye Namaha, 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 Om Dum Durgaye Namaha. By the way, Durga has reign especially strongly on Mondays and Saturdays. And Shiva's day is Saturday and Monday as well. You can chant these mantras any day, but sometimes they're enhanced on the days that are ruled by the deity. Durga becomes even more fierce and awesome as she transmutes into her Chamundi form. Chamundi is another warrior goddess who comes with weapons. By the way, I forgot to say that. Durga has 10 hands, so she carries a weapon in each one. Same with Kali and Chamunde. They like to have their weapons to cut off negative ego and protect their devotees. The mantra I'm going to teach you is a little more complicated. It has more words, but it has more seed sounds. By the way, Durga, Om Dum, that was the seed for Durga, Dum, D-U-M. Durga, the name of the goddess, and Yay, Shakti producing Namaha, the salutations. The next mantra is Om Aim Harim Klim Chamundaye Viche Namaha. So that's a loaded protective mantra. Om, the universal consciousness. Aim, which is the seed sound for Sarasvati, goddess of creative wisdom. Hrim, the sacred heart. Klim, the principle of attraction. The name of the goddess, Chamundi. Chamundaye, Shakti producing. Viche, victory, to this goddess. Namaha, I salute her. The translation is Om and salutations to she who is radiant with power and wisdom. This is really a good mantra for proactive protection, destruction of negative forces or entities, and according to my teacher Thomas Ashley-Farrand, prolonged use of this mantra, Om Aim Hrim Klim Chamundaye Viche Namaha, has been reported by many to produce feelings of self-confidence, especially in women. Join me in chanting Om Aim Hrim Klim Chamundaye Viche Namaha, and please consult the show notes for the words. Here we go. Om Aim Hrim Klim Chamundaye Viche Namaha. 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 And the final Sanskrit mantra for protection that I will teach you today is to a deity called Narasimha. Now, Narasimha is half man, half lion. He has a lion head and 8 arms and is ferocious to any enemies. And there are great stories about Narasimha, who is an incarnation of the divine masculine form of Vishnu. Vishnu had incarnations that were other forms, and one of them being Hanuman, as I've shared in previous, but also Krishna, the god of love, Buddha, and Narasimha, who is very protective. Now, this mantra, this Narasimha mantra, can cut through all kinds of negativity. And it's highly recommended when you have people around you, like neighbors, who are problematic, noisy, yelling, and can be causing problems. It's a really good mantra to chant in your home or apartment. Narasimha Tavada Soham. Many purposes comes in handy when you need really intense protection. And again, there is a Narasimha story in the teachings of India that is too long for our podcast, but basically he defeated this demon, Hiranyakashipu, who said he could be neither defeated by man nor beast. Now, Narasimha is half man and half beast, so he doesn't fall into that category. This demon, Hiranyakashipu, also had said he will neither be defeated in the daytime or nighttime. Narasimha defeated him at dusk. And then the other thing was that he will be defeated neither in or out of a dwelling. Narasimha defeated him on the threshold of a dwelling. So Narasimha is also quite witty. And so this mantra, when you think that you can't defeat a situation, a demon or a demonic energy, call on Narasimha. He'll do it for you. And the mantra is Narasimha Tavada Soham. This mantra invokes Narasimha, the inconquerable aspect of Vishnu, creator, God in the Hindu Trinity. Join me chanting Narasimha Tavada Soham 9 times. Narasimha Tavada Soham, 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 Narasimha Tavada Soham. I am honored and privileged to share you these powerful Sanskrit mantras, courtesy of my Sanskrit mantra lineage taught to me by my teacher, Namadeva Archarya, Thomas Ashley-Farrand, and Guru Rama Mata, Sri Muralidhar Pai, and their teacher, Sat Guru Sant Keshavadas, who brought this mantra lineage to the United States. I am very happy that I am able to share these with you listeners in this podcast form. Please practice these mantras, enjoy the fruits of their energy. Namaste. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Sanskrit Mantras for Protection. Remember to subscribe, download, and share this and all episodes of Cosmic Scene. This is Cosmic Scene with Jill Jardine, sending you healing mantra vibrations through the quantum field.